So I'll close this plate now. And in the next step, I'll put a puppet hat.
Practicing in a clean room in Dresden, Germany, future leaders in the chip sector are launching their careers after TSMC broke ground on its joint venture in Europe called ESMC in late 2024. Welcome to Zoom In, Zoom Out. I'm Alec McDonald. We're here at one of the largest technical universities in Germany, the Technical University of Dresden.
In order to meet the growing demands for semiconductor talents, the TU Dresden helped launch the Semiconductor Talent Incubation Program, STIPT, in 2023.
So far, the Saxony state has sent 85 students to study in Taiwan for the 6-month program.
And this program also includes 2 months of training in Taiwan's leading semiconductor company, TSMC.
But we wanted to find out if this program is actually helping students prepare to become the next leaders in the semiconductor industry.
We're going to talk to a TU Dresden professor and students in semiconductor-related fields to find out more.
Now, these are nanoparticles that we're looking at here.
Moritz Fleming, a PhD student at the university, has finished his experiment and begins describing what he is looking at.
I want to have a good layer quality, a thin film.
We ask him what he learned from TSMC that he can apply to his work now.
We learned a lot about semiconductor doping, and I can consider these effects when I build my devices, when I design them before. So I will implement doped layers, and I learned there how these layers distribute, what effects they have on device design. So I can profit from that. If it's about the process itself, there's not really much to say because they're working so automated with very high purity. I mean, purity is important for us as well, but not in that range or in that dimension TSMC is using it.
How do you get such high purity?
What we learned a lot about at TSMC is that clean wafers are very important, and cleanliness in the lab, especially on your samples, is always very crucial. So I was also investigating defects in the layers. That might just come from the quality of the spin coating I was doing or the fabrication, but these might also be external influences. That's why we are in a clean room, to minimize any defects and any contamination on the substrates. This is a general rule that applies for the labs, but seeing it at TSMC, how important cleanliness is there, this is a whole other level. But it's always good to remind yourself how important working cleanly in the lab is.
Next, we catch up with Christian Heim, another TU Dresden program student who became close friends with Moritz during their time in Taiwan.
My name is Christian Heim and I'm studying industrial engineering, which is a combination of business and engineering. And I'm right now in my 5th year here at TU Dresden.
Christian immediately reflects positively on his time studying in Taiwan.
In a nutshell, I always say it was the most exciting 6 months in my life so far. We had to choose out of 3 modules, and each module contains of 3 more courses related to the module. And so depending on what we choose, we had different courses. For the university, which was like a normal exchange semester, but we also had some, let's say, cultural activities organized by the university, by the international office, which was very nice to actually get to know Taiwan and its culture.
What was daily life like for Moritz?
Groups were fairly small, and we had all the time we had mentors or buddies who would help us throughout our journey in the fab. They were extremely helpful, really nicely helping us to get integrated into the co-workers, into the program, into the company. And although it was assigned, the module was assigned to us, the department made their best. It was really fun for me being there.
The program mentors are also not just random people, but key employees in TSMC's ecosystem.
They were actually employees. So for us, we had 6 buddies. So we had some equipment engineers and we had some process engineers from etching actually, and so the different job possibilities. So yeah, they showed us what they're doing all day long.
Renowned researcher and TUD Optoelectronics Chair Carl Leo also shared his feedback on the program.
Well, the feedback was excellent. First of all, the way TSMC has set up their training facilities is excellent, and they really learned very good technical skills, but also culturally it has been eye-opening for them to see that. And this combination with this experience in a foreign country is ideal for the students.
What about other takeaways, like cultural differences?
That the working hours are generally longer is one thing we already knew before, like we could expect. And the way of communicating at work, like within the company, is also a little different. There's the sandwich principle that we learned about, starting with a compliment or something positive, and then in the intermediate step, telling what could be done better, but ending again with a positive comment.
Since we have lived in Taiwan for 6 months, we also learned the Taiwanese way of living and working, I'd say. That helps to understand in the first place, and which is the most important thing, to understand the other side. It's just the knowledge and which we can keep in mind if we have to work with Taiwanese people.
Moritz also stresses the importance of cultural communication.
It's important to understand how they would communicate to you and interpret that, like other cultures that you just talk about the same topic.
He ended our conversation by telling us that his time in Taiwan was not just important for his professional development, but also personal.
I had a lot of fun, learned many new things, also for your own character, for the evolution of your own personality. That was quite important and insightful.
As the chip industry continues to expand as a truly global business, Professor Leo also tells us why the training TSMC provides is so crucial.
Since the industry is moving so quickly at the technological forefront, it's also very important to keep up with training. And once in a while there are revolutions, like for instance the new extended UV systems, which have brought a new step in resolution, and there are also new materials. So this is continuously evolving, and therefore at universities we have to continuously check whether our education system still works for this purpose. I think we need both interdisciplinary broad training, because you need to be developing stuff which comes from different areas. On the other hand, we also need specialized training for specific applications, and the challenge is to combine them in the right way, that we have broadly trained people who, however, in their specialized field, have a deep knowledge.
While TUD is training the next generation of semiconductor talent, education in Saxony is evolving in other ways too. In Weinböhla, a city 30 minutes outside Dresden, we found a very different kind of classroom, Saxony's first Mandarin school. Founded in October 2025, Han Yunluo, the president of the Dresden Mandarin School, not only teaches students Mandarin, but also about Taiwanese food culture. Mandarin classes take place every Saturday, but the class started off a bit differently on the day we arrived. Luo was teaching students how to make radish cakes and egg pancake rolls. Later, we sat down with some of them to hear what motivated them to study Mandarin.
Wir hatten das Angebot in der Schule.
Our school offered the course, and I've been thinking a lot about what I want to do in the future. I thought about working in business one day, especially something related to Asia, or East Asia in particular. That's why I'm studying Mandarin.
We're learning a lot here, including the meaning of the characters. I find that very interesting. That's a lot of fun.
Ich bin hier, weil meine Kinder die Möglichkeit haben.
I'm here because my kids have the chance to learn Mandarin. I think that's great, and I want to accompany them. TSMC is coming, and I think it's a great offer from the school that we have the chance to learn Mandarin. I definitely think it's a step toward the future.
Weil der Zeitpunkt gekommen ist,
Because my children are all grown up now, I finally have time to study Mandarin. My grandchildren are also here with me. It's great. Mandarin is difficult for me. I'm starting to understand more about how the characters are formed and written. My main goal is to understand what's written there because they all look like a work of art.
Saxony's connection with Asia is growing, and so is the number of students of all ages learning Mandarin.
我觉得除了当然就是台湾家庭越来越多之外，然后也会有一些人，因为那个 ESMC 毕竟是一个很大的新闻，然后也有一些人是从事相关产业的，所以他们开始会对台湾会感兴趣。吃东西。他们这个社团课程是开放给学生跟家长，然后学生们当然是因为自己未来规划或许有兴趣，或者他对语言有兴趣，他就来参加。那有的家长是因为好奇。 这个课程到底在上什么？中文到底是什么？然后就跟着孩子们一起过来。除了学习语言，我们也会把台湾的相关的文化，比如说台湾的宗教、台湾的节庆，然后台湾的饮食，这个是他们最喜欢的部分，然后就会介绍给他们，让他们一起就是对台湾更多方面有不同的认识。
Since we've arrived only a month after the school's founding, I asked Luo what it took to launch Saxony's very first Mandarin school.
我觉得比较辛苦的地方是因为我们都不是成立侨校专业的人员，从无到有，一开始我们真的不大知道该怎么去着手。但我觉得很幸运的是，就是其他地方的侨校，比如说像师祖家的中文学校，就是真的是手把手带着我们。然后像这边Weinböhla的市长也非常大力支持我们，愿意提供我们这边免费使用他们学校的校舍。我觉得很感动的就是很多台湾人其实是不止德国人，台湾人也非常热心，一起来帮忙。
And at the community level, that vision is already taking shape, starting with the school director offering the campus to host Saxony's first Mandarin school.
Also wir als Schule haben der Mandarin-Schule.
We as a school have provided the space in Weinböhla so children can take Mandarin lessons. What's nice is that both the children from our school and their parents take part and learn this language and culture. Today, there's cooking in the class, so they're fully immersed in Taiwanese culture. The head of the language school contacted me because they were looking for a centrally located spot where they could come together as a community. And Weinböhla is a very good fit. It's close to Dresden, but also relatively very close to the ESMC Fab.
To understand what these changes mean for Weinböhla, we spoke with Mayor Zanker.
Also der große Vorteil ist, dass man in Weinböhla in einem Dorf.
The biggest advantage we have is that you can live in a small town but still have all the perks of city life. Dresden's main station is only a 19-minute train ride away. We offer everything from kindergarten to high school education, and we're also interested in setting up a vocational school.
While future relocation numbers from ESMC remain uncertain, Weinböhla is still gearing up for a growing community of families driven by semiconductor expansion.
Also wir befinden uns im Prinzip zwischen dem.
The old building over there is a temporary school built in 2021. And we're standing in front of the main entrance of the new school, which will be finished this February 2026.
Germany's future semiconductor talent is being trained from lecture halls to early education classrooms. The cities and communities close to the ESMC site are already feeling the transformation. Thank you for watching this special series of Zoom In, Zoom Out reporting from Germany.
You can find more stories from Taiwan Plus News by downloading the Taiwan Plus app or following us on social media.
Also, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. We hope you enjoyed the show. Until next time.